You know, for me to drink tea at this particular time in this very beautiful cup, it basically means I'm in a safe environment, a very homely environment. And that can only happen when the country is independent, when the country is a republic. We're talking about Kenya that got its independence in 1963, 12th of December. And of course, a year later on, in 1964, became a republic. Definitely 12th of December marks a very important date in the calendar of Kenyans. And so as we look at Jamhuri Day, it's a double celebration. And here on Friday with Mr. B, we want to look at that. Talking to Mr. B, journalist of over 30 years, who can tell us what happened in 1963 and 1964? Mr. B, I wasn't born.
Yeah.
What I know about the day is basically what has been written, but it's a great honor to sit next to you, a man who was there, who actually saw what was happening. Perhaps before we get to that, we want to appreciate here on WTV three gentlemen, three Kenyans actually, a gentleman, a lady, and also another gentleman who are honored. There's these Queen's Young Leaders Award, courtesy of Queen Elizabeth. And these young people have been awarded this award for their innovation. They have really brought out exceptional leadership skills in their community. So we want to really appreciate, and we'll get to that because that's really the future of Kenya, that Kenyans are being realized internationally. But Mr. B,
Yes.
1963, perhaps even before independence.
Yeah, before.
Give us the picture.
Now that you have mentioned the Queen, let me mention that it was, I think, 1953, and there were little kids, and we were being called now to form a queue, and we were getting a badge that the Queen that time has become the Queen.
So you,
Yeah,
badge?
she was having a holiday here in Kenya.
Sure, yeah.
If you remember, I think Treetops in Nyeri, and her father dies, and then she becomes the Queen, and she is here in Kenya. So she starts preparing to go, and when she got there, is when now, that time 53, coronation is taking place. That's the whole function, celebration for her to become the Queen. And we are given this badge to wear here in Kenya, and it is written Her Majesty Service.
And it was a big thing.
And for us as kids,
Her Majesty.
yeah, and this thing was silver. It was looking beautiful, and it was put there. That is 53 now. And then, of course, the Mau Mau war had broken now into a serious open fight or war.
Let me just take you back.
Yes.
At that particular time, life seemed okay for at least you
Oh,
as children. I mean, getting a badge. I mean,
Yeah. It was okay. Things had not gotten to where now the open fight has come. And, and before that, it was very exciting. We, as children, getting into that forest, and then you find in the middle somewhere an island like this with grass, beautiful.
Wow.
And we used to get there and feel like, now when I look back, that place had so much oxygen.
Wow.
You just feel like you're in an oxygen tent inside that forest. And we could now compete like climbing those trees from what they used to call the reserve now where we were living. And we were jumping like monkeys from one tree to the other because trees are touching each other. And finally we got to this island, which is beautiful grass. And the bigger boys have brought the cows there. Through the forest, they are almost cutting the kind of way. And then we get there to that. And there is no place cows are going to anybody's shamba. It was really beautiful. And then we start now, after we had these barges, the war has become now open and very vicious. Yeah? And what happened is that British start to realize these Mau Mau are very sophisticated and very hard to catch. And the record shows that they were spending 10,000 pounds to catch one Mau Mau fighter.
Just one?
One.
Wow.
So what they did is, okay, we believe these guys who are in we are scattered everywhere. They are the ones feeding Mau Mau. So they decided to create a village where all the huts are next to each other. Yeah? Just few meters is a hut. Few meters is a hut. We are brought together. And then there was a trench dug around that place, is that village now. And they put spikes, in that trench. And then they had a little bridge, which is, they can lift it up, it becomes a door. Mm-hmm. So nobody can go out or come in. And there suddenly we are there. So the children are herded together and we are being given food by Red Cross. What? Everything is dried food and dried meat. And we used to eat fresh meat, fresh everything.
But that was normal.
So that was normal. And they wanted us to know it was serious. So one day, all these children who are together, like a kindergarten now there in that village, we were taken, and we were so small, to see somebody who was shot, a Mau Mau fighter who was shot by British. And I remember looking at this man, and the bullet, where it has gone through, blood was spurting out. And he is not dead, but he is completely helpless. He can't move because of, I think, loss of blood. And nobody is helping him. Nobody. To die. Then a few minutes, again, they brought some other people. They were tied by a rope, and they were being pulled by a Land Rover.
What?
Yeah.
And you as children were sort of forced to see that?
To see that. And they're telling us that if you become Mau Mau, that's what will happen. And I mean, as a child, first you are scared to death because you don't understand. Nobody has explained to you there was conflict between us and the British.
No?
No.
Now, at that particular time, did you take any sides? Emotionally, did you feel, oh, the British are protecting us, or, oh, they're killing our people, the Mau Mau?
For us as children, I can tell you I did not understand a thing.
It was just an event for
It
you.
was just a very horrible
Horrible
event.
event.
And we could see everybody was sad. Nobody was smiling. Myself, I felt like these Johnnies are not good people. Myself,
You had a feeling.
I had
But
a
other
feeling.
people, when you say
Yeah.
yourself,
yeah, I had a feeling.
does it mean other people felt
Because
these are our
we
friends?
didn't feel we can go there. I felt a bit fearful and terrorized. So, and they had all these guns and bullets, those belts of bullets and magazines everywhere.
Wow.
So they caused a scare.
There was a scare. We want to take a short break. When we come back, we really want to now understand, because these were the challenges then. But 1963, there's a totally different story here, where Kenyans feel, you know what, this is the time for us to take charge and be a country that is independent and later on be a republic. And we are also going to look at the present Kenya today and pick aspects of what is happening around and say, perhaps these also sort of are a replica of what used to happen before independence, and it is now up to us, you and I, to stand up and begin to battle whatever ills are in society so that we create the future we want today, not tomorrow, but today. You're watching Friday with Mr. B. We'll be right back.